Hi, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. I make videos about books. Please hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow. Today is the Smut vlog. So I screen recorded and I'll put right here. I am so confused about what to do because I mostly have light romances and you can only do one wheel a day. So I think I'm starting with the dark wheel and maybe only reading one dark romance. I might do the dark wheel today, Thursday, and then maybe Sunday, but I have way more light romances, so I don't know. However, I'm gonna show the screen record right here. I started out with dark romance and I got red writing on the cover. I think it's right here, whatever that is. So I had to Google that and what came up was the first book or novella of the Mindfuck series called The Risk. So I'm going to show you, this is what I have, and you can see this is red, but the Kindle Unlimited version, the whole thing is red. So this is what I'm going off. I think I will read it in this book. This writing, I've never opened this before. This writing is so big. This is the bind up of all 5 books, but I will only be reading the first one because I'm doing it based on the novella. So I will be reading The Risk. That is the first book I will be reading, and I will be vlogging that. And then I think when I'm done The Risk, hopefully I can finish The Risk tonight, but I don't really know. I really have no idea. I don't know. Okay, so The Risk is 123 pages in this book, which honestly is not that bad. And I'm gonna put a bookmark. This is what I'm putting. Blue from Blue's Clues. So that's how far I have to read tonight. And then probably only get this done, or if I don't get this done, then I'm going to spin the dark wheel again. But then probably I will focus on light. I am just a light romance girly, and there is nothing wrong with that. So let's go on this journey together. I will be reading The Risk tonight. I am a little bit over 50% into The Risk, which is the first book in the Mindfuck series. Why is that hard to say? So I did not realize that Lana was the serial killer, which I think is cool. Girl power. And Logan is the FBI agent. I just, because of misogyny, assumed it was the other way around. But where I have left off, they are currently hooking up. So she is aware that he is a FBI agent, and she's just like, whatever, I'm attracted to him, let's fuck. So that's what's happening where I am. I, at this point, don't feel like I will continue on, and I'm going to try something else. Like, I'm going to spin the dark wheel again tonight, and then I'll probably be done with the dark wheel. Probably. I finished The Risk. It took me a lot longer than I intended because I haven't read a physical book with my eyeballs since last year. Yeah, so it took me a while. I've been sprinting for 3 hours, and we've been talking and stuff, so yeah, but it took me 3 hours to read 123 pages. Sad life. Anyway, this ended on a cliffhanger, and it was a good cliffhanger, and I'm gonna give this 4 stars, and I thought it was gonna be 3 stars, but because of that cliffhanger, and I love endings, this is just how I am. I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I am gonna spin again, so let me screen record my spinning, the dark wheel still, and figure out what I'm gonna read next. But 4 stars for The Risk. I like this. Okay, so for dark wheel, I spun white cover. I actually just got this. My indie had this thing where if you pre-ordered from them, you got this sweet bookmark. It says King of Wrath, and it's sparkly, and it has a tassel. So I did that and to get the bookmark. But I also have the audiobook of this, which is good because it's 10 o'clock, which is near my bedtime normally, and my eyes are starting to get tired. So I will be listening to King of Wrath. I have not read an Anna Huang before, so this is my first foray into Hannah Huang. I'm excited. I don't know anything about this. Let's go. I am 96 pages into King of Wrath. I'm liking it a lot so far. So we're following Vivian and... Hold on, I got this. Dante. I was gonna say Dominic. No. Vivian and Dante are in an arranged engagement right now. Vivian's family is like new millionaires, and she needs to marry up so they have more money. And Dante's family, Dante's brother was found with something happened with Dante's brother, and now Dante is the chosen one to be engaged to Vivian. I already can't remember what happened. It doesn't matter. It's not, whatever. Anyway, so Vivian and Dante have moved in together and they don't like each other, and Dante is mean, and Vivian was dating this guy named Heath and was not allowed to be with him because he wasn't rich enough. And that's kind of what is happening so far here. I'm really liking this. I like the concept of this. It does remind me of Sophie Lark's Brutal Prince, where like it's an arranged marriage mafia sort of situation. It's kind of reminding me of that, except that they aren't married yet. I do want to talk about the audiobook because it wouldn't be me if I didn't talk about the audiobook. This audiobook is amazing. So instead of the voice actor like making up a male or female voice, the actual other narrator will pop in and say that part, which I haven't heard in audiobooks often, but when they do happen in audiobooks, it's my absolute favorite thing. So this audiobook is top tier, and it's only 2 narrators, but they're doing like different voices for different parts, but they always come in. And anyway, I'm obsessed with it. So I'm really liking this so far. This is really promising. It's good. Hi, it's Friday afternoon. I'm on sprints. I am over 200 pages into King of Wrath, and I'm loving this. And the reason I'm loving this is because it has more substance than just smut, which is what I really like. Like, I think all smut is really boring. But this has a lot going on. There's now a love triangle, which I absolutely love a love triangle. Like, I'm a slut for a love triangle. Just love it. And they're like hot and cold with each other. Like, there has been just like the teeniest amount of smut, and then like something will happen and they back off. But they like, he at least, Dante wants Vivian, and Vivian is like la 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 la, like I absolutely love it, like girl power. So I'm really liking this. I believe I'm like 50% in now, so I'll definitely finish it today. But I just like, I think I really like Anna Huang, and I will definitely be reading the Twisted series. I do have Twisted Love, but it's been on my shelf, I think, since like last year, so I'm gonna have to move it up, maybe for Smut Den. So I made it to page 300, and I also made it to the 3rd act breakup, which at this point in my romance reading career, it's expected, right? Like, that's what authors do to keep the story moving. So I'm not mad about it because it's the formula, but and this one was okay. The Vivian like was hearing something and knows now like that Dante was blackmailed into marrying her, and it wasn't just for social status, and obviously she's pissed about it, so she's moved out and everything. But I'm still really liking this. It's definitely not as smutty as I thought it was going to be, but the writing is so good, and I really like the story. So it doesn't even matter that it's like barely smutty. Like, that doesn't matter to me. But I actually really do like the writing, and once again, I am obsessed with this audiobook. So it's a great audiobook. I'm so glad I bought it. Like, I bought it off Audible. Good choice. I finished King of Wrath. and I really liked it. I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars, which is 5 stars on Goodreads. I feel like it's not a full, I don't know, because I based on vibes alone, but I don't, it just feels like a 4.5. I can't explain it to you. Okay, but I did like how they came back together, and I feel like this is okay to say, but like there was a lot of groveling, which I really like from a man. So 4.5 stars for King of Wrath. I probably will pre-order, I think the next one is called King of Pride. I think I will probably pre-order that one and continue on with this series. So I really like this. It was very good. Okay, it is still Friday night, still in sprints. I decided to switch over to the light wheel because I am trying to do a buddy read with my friend Nat from Nerdy Nat Reads, and I needed to either I needed like blue or illustrated cover or more than 2 words or something on the light wheel, and I'll put it right here, but I got illustrated cover. So I will be reading our buddy read For You and No One Else by Ronnie Lauren. I read the first one after Nat's recommendation and said that she said that like no one had ever talked about this book, but that it was an easy 5 star, so I read it. And it was a 5 star. So we buddy read the next one in the series. Now we're gonna buddy read the last one in the series. I absolutely hate these covers, but the inside of the book is really good. So we'll be reading this one. I don't know the tropes of this one, but I will keep you updated. I am 100 pages into For You and No One Else by Ronnie Lauren. We are following Eliza. I'm sorry, I was gonna say Eli, and that's because the other main character, Beckham, calls her Eli, so my brain was like, hello? Anyway, so she once again works at this workspace that the other 2 women worked from the previous books, and they are all friends. And she is a therapist, and she is trying dating apps and stuff, and it is not going well. She just went on a disastrous date, and he filmed her when she was very drunk and put it on the internet, and now she's losing clients and stuff. And her like workplace neighbor, Beckham, is completely off of the internet, so she is doing a 6-month no internet, no social media, no anything challenge to see if she can do it. And that's where I am in this story. That's all I know. She adopted a dog. That happened in the beginning, but like obviously we know that it's gonna be a romance between Eliza I was gonna say Eli, stupid, Eliza and Beckham. I'm liking it so far. You know, this first 100 pages is all set up, but I know at some point that it is going to get spicy, which is what I love about these books because they look so unassuming, and I hate these covers so much. So I'm liking it so far. I really, really like Eliza. I really, really like Beckham. So far, Beckham could be my favorite of the men of these 3 novels. That's how much I like him, so we'll see. All right, tropes. Slow burn. Because they have kissed, but it was just like a friendly kiss. What else? Age gap. She's older. I think she's in her 30s and he's 25, so it's not like that big, but still an age gap. Friends to lovers. I feel like I know what the 3rd act breakup is going to be already. It's been hinted at a couple of times, so I will let you know if I'm right, but I'm liking this so far. I don't think it's like anything amazing. I definitely don't like it as much as the first one. Yes and I Love You, that to me is like the perfect book, and I don't feel that with this one, but like it's still a good book. Does that make sense? As soon as I did that update, the very next chapter, they hooked up. So not a slow burn. I am over 50%, but I feel like that's fine. That's not a slow burn. A slow burn is like 80%. So this is good. It's good. It's it's Saturday. I made it 84% into For You and No One Else, and I hit the third act breakup, and I was right about what the third act breakup would be. I feel like this author was really hinting at what it would be, and I let Nat know that I had made it to the third act breakup, and it was stupid. I don't think I'm definitely not liking this as much as the other two. Like, this feels like a solid 3.5, if I'm being nice, 4-star, but I don't really get the relationship with this one. I don't know if I don't like Eliza, I don't know if I don't like Beckham, but I definitely don't like them together, and honestly, I'm bored. However, this is important. I would like to point out that there is more smut in this light romance than there was in King of Wrath, which was my dark romance. So I find that really interesting. However, the story was better in King of Wrath than it is in For You and No One Else, but this has less smut than my light romance book. So that's interesting. I feel like these cartoon covers really like hide the fact that there's going to be a lot of smut, and when people think dark romance, they automatically think a lot of smut. And in my case with King of Wrath and For You and No One Else, it was the opposite. So just something to think about. I finished For You and No One Else. I feel very underwhelmed by this, but I have the whole series and I don't want to unhaul this, and I unhaul everything 3 stars or lower. I think I'm gonna give this 3 stars, and I haven't decided if I'm gonna unhaul this. I just did not feel the chemistry between these two characters like I did between literally any of the other books. Also, there's a happily ever after, so I'm not gonna spoil anything, but they're dating for 2 months and he gets her name tattooed over his heart, and that is disgusting. I absolutely hated that. That is so cringy. So I think based on that alone, I have to give it 3 stars. So 3 stars for this. This wasn't my favorite. This was my least favorite of the series, which is really disappointing. I hate when series go down in stars. But this, I did not like this. Okay, so I went back to the dark wheel. There it is. I got wild. So I'm gonna try All He Wants for Christmas is a Fingerling by J.P. Sale. This is the shape-shifting werewolf male potato book. So let's go on this journey together, okay? So I'm 20% into this, and the wolf, whose name is Ola, is a shifter. He shifts into a wolf, and he is the alpha. And he goes to Potatoville, and it's obviously full of potatoes, right? And he comes across Frenchie, and Frenchie is a potato shifter, and that potato, Frenchie, is the wolf's mate. So now the wolf, no, the potato talks and is like, I don't know, we're mates, you're attracted to me. The potato has never had sex. I am trying to imagine how this is going to work, but I am sure that I am about to find out how the smut works in this book. I'll probably spoil this book, so if for whatever reason you don't want to be spoiled on All He Wants for Christmas is a Fingerling, please skip this, because I will be going into spoilers for this because it's so short and it's just so wacky. I feel like I have to spoil it, but that's what's happened. They're just attracted to each other, this potato shifter and this wolf shifter. So that's all I know. Okay, so with mates with the wolves, they have to be naked and do a blood ritual. However, Frenchie is a potato. And potatoes don't have blood. So I think Tala and Ola, I don't remember what the wolf's name is, but how could you forget Frenchie? Anyway, so the wolf is trying to figure out how they can mate. They've already mated, but how they can officially become mates with the ritual. This is just something else. I have personally not read anything like this before. The writing is not great. There's been several typos. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know what to say about this. So apparently you can eat a potato shifter and they'll regenerate in the dirt if there is still a third of us left. So the werewolf ate the potato, but not all of it, so that Frenchie could come back, and it turned him on. What the fuck? So now the potato is pregnant, but he's also a man potato, and the wolf was also a man, so it's impreg, which I don't like, and also it was a surprise pregnancy, which is my most hated trope, so. Hey, so I finished Fingerling. I give it 1 star. It was definitely a mistake to read it. Like, there were no redeeming qualities, except that, like, in the beginning, it's funny because of, like, what it's about, right? But then it just, like, goes downhill after that. So, like, I'm glad... No. Start over. I'm not glad that I read it. Let's make that perfectly clear. I don't recommend it. It's not... Like, it's definitely weird, but it's not good either. Like, after the whole pregnancy, I was out, obviously. So don't recommend that. 1 star. Hold on. Okay, goodbye. Okay, so I spun for probably my last time, and I got 1 word title. And I'm gonna do Lotus by Jennifer Hartman. I looked, and this does not have an audiobook. So I'm gonna read it on my Kindle, which is the second fastest way that I read. And hopefully I can finish it before the end of Smut Den tomorrow at 7 Eastern. I think I can, and I don't think I could fit anything else in, maybe like a very short novella. So we'll see. So I'm starting Lotus now. Hello, it's Sunday morning. I am 22% into Lotus, so I feel like I can talk about it now. We are following Sydney. Sydney's childhood best friend Oliver went missing 22 years ago, and he was just found alive. And the person who took him made Oliver believe that he was one of the last people living after a atomic bomb went off, and he was literally living underground for 22 years. I don't know anything about how they found him. I don't know anything like that. I just know that he was found. Second, Sydney has what we believe is a stalker. She felt like someone was in her house, and then later on she was attacked in her house, and Oliver saved her. And I'm wondering how these two stories are going to connect, because right now they're not connecting. Like, we just know that Oliver was found, and then we also know that Sydney has a stalker. So it's definitely interesting. And then we also have some sexual tension between Oliver and Sydney, which is going to be the main romance of this. I'm liking it a lot so far. I have not read anything by Jennifer Hartman, but she also wrote Still Beating, which has also been on my list since Riley talked about it maybe like 4 years ago. So I'm excited that I am finally reading a Jennifer Hartman. The writing is good. I will say that Sydney is portrayed as not like one of those girls right now, which is that's always annoying. It's always annoying. But other than that, a little thing, I'm liking this a lot. So that's what I know about Lotus so far. I am 65% into Lotus. It's not my favorite, and that's because they both have feelings for each other and they both refuse to act on it, and I understand why, which is also why it's hard for me to make a decision about it, But like he went through something super, super traumatizing for 22 years, but he is attracted to Sydney and Sydney is attracted to him. But like she doesn't want to get emotionally involved in someone who has been through something like that. But the thing is, they keep like hooking up and then they ignore each other for like 2 weeks. And it's just like, it's very frustrating for me, at least as a reader, because I want like a relationship to happen or not, instead of the back and forth. Like, it's the back and forth that I don't like. So I'm gonna finish it because I can't, like, there is less than 2 hours left of the readathon and I cannot spin again and finish a book in that time. So let's go. Hello, I finished Lotus last night about an hour technically after Smut Den ended, but I'm still gonna count it because I read it for the majority of Smut Den. So this is the end of the Smut Den vlog. Let me tell you about the book that I read. So I read the first book in the Mindfuck series, which is called The Risk, and I ended up giving this 4 stars. The ending was really good. And endings are really important to me, so I really, really like this one, and I will be continuing on with the series. The next one, and my favorite book that I read for Smut Den, is King of Wrath by Anna Huang. This was really good. It just wasn't super spicy, which is fine because I liked the story besides the spice, but I guess I was just expecting more for what is considered a dark romance, but I really liked the premise of this book. Next was my buddy read with Nat, and that is For You and No One Else by Ronnie Lauren. I give this 3 stars. I will be unhauling this, and I think I talked about this in the vlog, but he gets her name tattooed on his chest, and that was just so cringe to me that I had to put it down a whole star. I just did not like that, no. And then the worst book that I read for Smut Den was, of course, the potato book, All He Wants for Christmas is a Fingerling, and I do not recommend that book to anyone, not even as a joke. But the good news about that one is that we went down a spiral of the author's website and Patreon on sprints, and that was really fun to discover all the things that she does. So that was a good time, but the book was not a good time, and I absolutely do not recommend it. Do not recommend. And then last is Lotus, which I ended up giving 3 stars. I just don't think that this was the book for me. It was really, really dramatic, and that is not something I really care about. I am always in it for the romance, which is why I think I'm more of a light romance girly. Like, that's really, really what I want to read when I read a romance. And this was just had to do with a bunch of other stuff that I ended up not really caring about. So that's why I give this one 3 stars. But I had a great time during Smut Den. It's currently Monday, and I am still trying to recover from all the sprints, but it was such a fun time, and thank you for the late night crew for inviting me to be a part of this year's Smut Den. I had a great time. I read 5 books in 3 days, which is just, I don't normally do that. So I hit 2K on YouTube during Smut Den, and I said if I hit 2K, I would eat a mozzarella stick, and that is important because I haven't had a mozzarella stick in over 15 years, which is over half my life. Are you gonna watch me eat it? Come on. I'm afraid of choking, and this is my #1 hazard, choking thing. So thanks for 2K. I'll eat this whole thing. Castleman's watching me. This is how big of a moment it is. I'm doing it. It's so good. Oh my god. I'm afraid of the swallowing part because of the cheese pool. Oh, it's not so bad. This cheese pool's not so bad. Ugh. Oh god. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Also, it's 8:40 in the morning, and I'm eating a mozzarella stick. I did it. I'll finish so you know that I don't die. I didn't die. That was literally the first time I had a mozzarella stick in over 15 years, so. Okay. Thanks for watching my video. See you on my next one. Bye!
Losing time, I'm fading fast.